So this story has changed over the last couple of days that I wanted to talk about this because, when Andrew Tate got arrested and then released and arrested and released, I kind of wanted to stay neutral on it because I didn't know enough about Andrew Tate to really have an opinion. I thought he was maybe coming up with some ideas, some things that are good for young men to know, which is being strong, being masculine, being in good shape, chasing money and not women. I think Andrew Tate said some good things. But the more that comes out about Andrew Tate, the more I dislike him and think overall he is a net negative for society. Some of you may disagree with that, but I'm going to argue my point here a little bit as we get into this. Before I forget, let me give a shout out to today's sponsor, the Wellness Company. They reached out to me and they said, "Hey, we got a product. Will you take a look?" I said, "Yes." I looked at it. It is an awesome product. The gentleman involved in this is Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Drew Pinsky. These guys have been pushing back against the jab since all that stuff came out, and they're coming back around with another round. Now they got Moderna coming up with federal funding for more mRNA bird jabs, even because everybody's getting scared, although no one's getting scared. But they're going to drop this, right? And isn't it amazing? We've had two 100-year pandemics every 4 years, and they happen to fall and get real serious right before election. Oh, I am shocked. I am shocked, everybody.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
And now, check this out. This is new. They have an international bird flu summit. It's a conference that's coming up October. And look at this. The first event they're having, mass fatality management planning. So they can't just scare you by telling you about it. They got to scare you by actually releasing it into the... They're going to do it. I swear they're going to do it, man. Well, anyway, wellness, they have an contagion emergency kit. It's about the same price as a doctor's visit, but you do get a lot of good meds in it. Let me read everything you get. You get ivermectin, you get hydroxychloroquine, you get the Z-Pak, azithromycin, you get Tamiflu, you get budesonide, which comes with a nebulizer, so that if you have lung inflammation, you can use it. And if you use the kit, you can just reorder whatever you used. You don't need to get another full kit. You just get a refill for it. It's only available here in the U.S. That's the only downside. But the good news is you can have this, and then you don't have to worry about going to the hospital or doctor's lines or any of that stuff. So you can go to twc.health/oddmanout. You will see a lovely picture of myself. Anyway, go to twc.health/oddmanout. No spaces, just ODDMANOUT. Get yourself at least the contagion kit. They have travel kits, emergency kits, medical emergency kits. But the contagion one, that's the good stuff. That's what I'm saying. Andrew Tate has been placed under house arrest as new trafficking allegations emerge involving minors. They say in Bucharest, this is from just a couple days ago. Bucharest, Romania. A court in Romania's capital Thursday placed the divisive internet influencer Andrew Tate under house arrest for 30 days as prosecutors investigate a sprawling new case that involves allegations of trafficking of the PDF files. The Bucharest tribunal decision comes a day after prosecutors detained 6 people, including Tate, 37, and his brother, Tristan Tate, 36, after masked police raided 4 homes in Bucharest and nearby Ilfov County. Prosecutors had asked the court to remand the brothers in custody for 30 days. Tristan's been placed under judicial control, which typically involves geographical restrictions and reporting periodically to the police. In other words, house arrest. The brother's spokesperson, Matea Petrescu, responded to the decision by saying the judge denied prosecutors' requests due to the brothers' exemplary behavior while previously under preventive arrests measures in a separate case, and that they firmly deny all of the allegations against them and remain steadfast in proving their innocence. The Tate brothers, both former kickboxers and dual British U.S. citizens, are already awaiting trial in Romania in a separate trafficking case, along with 2 Romanian women. Romanian prosecutors formally indicted all 4 last year. In the new case, Romania's anti-organized crime agency, DIICOT, said it is investigating allegations of trafficking, including the trafficking of minors, PDF stuff, forming an organized criminal group, money laundering, and influencing statements. The alleged crimes date between 2014 and 2024. I'll say this much. Let me say this much. I don't know all the age laws that are in the countries where they were. I don't know what they're actually going to be indicted for, but I will say this. You notice here they said these things date between 2014 and 2024. Why didn't they do anything against the Tates in 2014 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 and 21 and 22 and 20? Why didn't they do anything for a decade? It's because now the Tates are well known. They're very popular with young men, and they have opinions against feminism and leftism and being a weak man and being able to be influenced. And they talk about the matrix and the power of the governments. And I think now governments view them as a threat. And that is why they're now going after them. They didn't care what they did before then. But now that they've got the ear of 14 million young men, now they got some issues with them. They say the DIICOT said the defendants used coercive loverboy method to take advantage of 34 vulnerable women who were forced to produce material for a fee online, and that more than 2.8 million euros it generated was kept by the defendants. An unnamed foreign man also exploited a 17-year-old foreigner, DIICOT alleges, and said he kept all of the 1.5 million made from the criminal activity. The same man repeatedly had relations and acts with someone of an underage status. Outside of the court, after the judges issued his house arrest measure, Andrew Tate told reporters that many of the alleged women in this new case have statements in the Tate brothers' defense. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. Fair play to the judge who saw all through all of this BS and let us free, he said. Andrew Tate, who has 9.9 million followers on the social media platform X, is known for expressing misogynistic views online and has repeatedly claimed that prosecutors have no evidence against him and there's a political conspiracy to silence him. He was previously banned from various social media platforms for misogynistic views and hate speech. During the entire criminal process, the investigated persons benefit from the procedural rights and guarantees provided by the Code of Criminal Procedure. The police also took their motorcycles, laptops, 30, they say here 16, but I think it's up to 32 luxury vehicles, thousands of dollars in cash, luxury watches, and data storage drives. Now, I don't know about you, but that does sound like you're basically robbing them. It sounds like you're robbing them. And they go on to their previous cases. Okay, so let me pull up some other stuff here. Now, these are some various clips that I'm going to play from Andrew Tate. They should not be out of context. I don't remember all of them, but I will play as many of them as I can. And these are the statements that people are listening to. So let's separate this into two categories. Did he probably piss off some elites and talking about the matrix and talking about, the governments and yes. Does he make people mad talking about women? Yes. However, has he made some statements that really do not shine a good light on him and his person about the age of women he's having working for him? Also, yes. I'm just gonna play a few of these statements so you guys can hear what we other people hear that makes them say, I don't think this is a very good guy anymore.
I'm all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually.
Okay. He changed the age of the women based on what he thought the law was. Do you understand that? Like if I say, oh, she was 15, or wait, no, 16, or wait, 18, whatever's legal in the United States. That's not what you say if you were actually with somebody of the correct age. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you don't change the age based on what the law is in the area. And there's a lot more than this, but we're just warming up a little bit.
I'm all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually. You get married at 16.
All right, in Romania it's 16, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm all these 18-year-old women, blah, blah, blah.
16.
All right, in Romania it's 16.
So he says 16 is Romania, then why did he say 15? You don't actually say the wrong number. You know what I mean? Like I would never accidentally say 13. Like it just, that's not a thing that happens if we're being honest with each other.
The ones who are really in love with you won't do that. You actually have to downplay your relationship with a girl of 6 years, which is difficult.
And I only get away with that because the girl of 6 years plays along. So Vivian's been with me 6 years. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we felt whatever, we're in love. But when a new girl comes, she'll go, oh yeah, I started off working for him and it's just how it worked out. She'll super downplay us. When I bring on new girls, I usually pair them with Vivian. Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's like 28, Vivian's like 21.
Okay, so he says Vivian's like 21 and he's been with her for 6 years. I don't know about you, but if you know anything about math, 21 minus 6 is 15. And he's previously said 15 a couple of different times. This is where people are saying, okay, this isn't good. You see what I'm saying?
Vivian's younger, she's more fun, more outgoing. Melissa's really quite, not in a bad way, she's more homey, boring, sits at home. So the ones who are...
Okay, so there's that one. Again, you guys can have the arguments. You guys can have the discussion about this. I'm just bringing up what myself and others are hearing coming out of Andrew's own mouth that makes us have a very negative opinion of him now. It's his own words out of his own mouth. So can a couple things be true at once? Can the governments be going after him because he slapped back at Greta Thunberg? Yes. Can they be going after him because he's, I wouldn't say, let's go ahead and say misogynistic, because that's what they're saying. Could they be going after him for that? Yes. Could they be going after him because he's influencing young men? Yes. Could they also be looking into it because out of his own mouth he said he's having not correct relationships? Yes. And he might have been low profile where they didn't even care up until he got the eyes from people in government and people higher up, and they decided to put a target on his back. All these things can be true at once. Can he also be saying some things that are positive, that are good about masculinity and about women's nature to young people? Yes. You can do all these things at the same time. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying.
Andrew, don't your girls have your name tattooed on them?
20 girls have my name tattooed on them.
And how many girls have your name on them now?
22. I got 20. I'm on 22.
22. Oh man.
He wanted me to get his name tattooed at all costs.
He wanted me to tattoo his name on me.
Yeah, the branding actually comes up in the 86-page document that was obtained from Romania. Let me read part of that. It says the criminal activities of these defendants are a form of slavery, according to the prosecutor's office, like 19th century U.S. slave owners who branded their slaves with a red iron.
Now, this is way over the top dramatic, but again, I'm playing what other people are seeing that is forming their opinion on Andrew Tate. I'll talk a little bit about it after this video.
Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate defendants brand their victims with tattoos indicating that they are the defendant's property. For example, they have tattoos with the message, owned by Tate.
A lot of these girls that are trafficked, will brand them to show ownership. It's a sign of ownership. And so they come here and we either lighten and remove them, or we have affiliates where they can go to get them covered with something beautiful. The tattoos can come in a form of a name, a symbol, numbers, dates, crowns. It all signifies the ownership of the.
And that's why I teach in my course as well. Like, yeah, getting the girl is the first 10% of the game. Having a girl tattoo your name on her is the other 90%. That's about 90% of the tattoo game. I'll say to the girl, well, you're serious about it. She goes, yeah, I'm serious. I said, why don't you tattoo my name on it? She goes, oh, because we're going to split up. I was like, well, I thought you were serious. Well, I am. Are you going to cheat? No, I'm not going to cheat, but you might cheat. So what? So if I talk to a girl, you're going to leave me? That's not. I thought you were loyal. Well, I am loyal. So then if you're loyal to me and you're a good girl, you do as I say, why are we going to split up? Well, we're not. Then what's the problem with the tattoo? I just say to the girl, like, are we going to be together forever? She goes, well, I hope so. I said, well, I don't believe in hopes. It's yes or no. She goes, well, I want to. So if you genuinely want to, then why wouldn't you get it on her? Take over everything. No one's driving my cars but me. It's like my women. Put my name on them. Boom. Done. You don't let them want them anymore. They sit at home while I play with the younger ones.
Gosh, that's something. That you want to talk about ownership. There you go.
Yes, this is hyped up and it's very dramatic. But if there's allegedly, out of his own words, 20 to 25, and in a text, 30 to 35, supposedly in a text that have his name on them, and then he says, "Well, get your name, put my name on you, so as proof that we'll be together forever." Well, he's obviously not together forever with 20 or 35 women. Granted, he's slept around with a lot of them and has been very personal with a lot of them. But look, we can say again, multiple things can be true. Do I think a lot of women today do things that are very unhealthy and very negative and make dating virtually impossible? and are not good for relationships when it comes to these kind of things? Yes. Can it also be true that Andrew Tate took advantage of women when they were very young and impressionable, and they saw that he was braggadocious and had these cars and had the money, and that he promised they would be making millions of dollars if they came and worked for him, and that he loved them and he was going to take care of them? Yes. That, again, two things can be true at once. And I know a lot of people, are very, very strongly disagree with Andrew Tate, and some people think he does some good things. I think two things can be true at once. This is a little bit of a longer video. I'm going to play this, but this is when he was talking with Candace Owens. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit because it is 6 minutes.
What's your webcam business?
Yes.
Okay, that's too fast. Let me slow that down a little bit. He's talking about his webcam business and some other things here.
So I stopped having any involvement with it, I think 8 to 9 years ago.
The last 2 to 3 years I've been making money on OnlyFans from its inception all the way up till now. I'm currently filming this during the COVID pandemic.
And I ended up opening a webcam company where girls would sit on a laptop and they would talk to guys on the internet for money. That's what they would do.
It's like, you know what? I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards and plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking.
The girls would sit there fully clothed or a bikini.
The girls were just famoosers, just laughing and doing this. The out.
One, I intimately understand the relationship between men and these websites.
And they were talking to ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it.
I want you to understand what he's saying here, guys. I want you to understand what he's saying here. He put these pretty women on camera with unplugged keyboards, and it was him and his friends on the keyboards hustling other men. Now, you're going to hear me say this a lot. Can two things be true at the same time? Because there's a lot in this community of guys that feel two ways about this, right? And some people will say, I think it's fine. He was playing these losers, these chumps, these suckers. He was playing them and taking their money. But here's my side of it. These are young men that want intimacy, and they're lonely, and they want friendship, and they want someone to talk to, and they want to feel seen by a girl. And that's why they're probably paying the money, because maybe they're unattractive enough that they don't get attention from women. Maybe they don't have any friends. Maybe they don't have a good community of men to give them support. But here they're thinking, hey, there's this cool girl who's, I don't know, maybe she says she's into video games. Because remember, it's him and his friends suckering these young men to take their money. This is Andrew Tate hurting other guys. That's how I see it. Do you understand? Now, I know a lot of you say, hey, I don't care. But look, we are in a healthy place. We are in a healthy place. Is it better to help those guys by shaming them, making fun of them, trying to help them become socially adapted to where they don't go into this stuff? Or do you just rake them out of money until not only are they alone and they feel like they got played, but they're also broke? To me personally, I don't feel that is a good way to be a man. That's how I feel about it.
And seen men give away their life savings to girls they never met. I've watched and I've seen it.
They come and say, what kind of, all of it. We're milking them dry.
And I actually think a lot of the insights I give.
I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
A lot of the things I tell the world about the male mental health crisis.
You have a guy.
Feel bad or no?
No, to give a solitary
about men being so constantly lonely.
We got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models. Serious, big time in love, right? Sending crazy money. And they're convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad.
About how important it is to build yourself into a high value man.
Because they're like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet?
About how money alone is not enough.
What was the most that one person sent to a model? Total.
Million?
Wow.
About a mil in about a year?
You don't feel bad at all.
Why the f would I care?
I don't feel bad either.
So, thank you.
I explain all these things. A lot of these are lessons from the webcam days. I saw dudes who had a whole bunch of money, no other attributes, and they ended up on these websites spending hundreds of thousands of dollars because they didn't have anything else.
But, so, the girl would be online for 6 or 7 hours, but then when she logged off, was sleeping or whatever, on her WhatsApp, I'd have staff. She was online 24 hours a day, her WhatsApp or this. She was famoosing when she was asleep. We were bringing in money. This is what the powers that be want. They want to make sure that the male populace is as docile as possible, and they do that with a large array of weapons, and they do that with a web of tools, and I believe that I'm the counter to that, which is the reason I ended up attacked in the first place. I think I can anticipate the question you're going to ask. How do I reconcile with the fact that I used to produce or degree content?
Now men are writing to you, like, how do I...
And now men are trying to escape it.
Yeah.
These girls, they don't have a man telling them what to do properly, they're lazy, and they end up making a few bucks maybe of that, and they stay on the very, very bottom of the pile. You don't want that. You bought this course, you want to make your money back, and you want to continue to make money for a long time, so you want your girls to be elite. I'm going to teach you how to do that.
Here's my dislike with Andrew Tate and his way he's doing this. First, he got rich. He made money off of taking advantage of women and suckering men. And when that scam ended, he made his money by being a life coach and trying to help men get away from the very thing he was doing prior. He's making it's almost like making money by selling weapons to both people on both sides of the battlefield. That's like selling things to Russia and selling these things to Ukraine so that they can attack each other. So he's basically used everybody that's ever been involved with him. And I'll let the video finish, but I want you to remember this point, guys. Any of you that say, you know what, good for him. He suckered those loser women. He suckered those men. He got the money. He got the power. He got rich. Good for him. Here's my argument to you. You're not happy when the government does it to you. You're not happy when the government lies to you and suckers you. You're not happy when the government takes your taxes at the end of a hole puncher and says you must do this or we'll throw you in jail. You don't like it when the government has power over you. Well, how do you think it feels to be any of the people that have been involved with Andrew Tate in any way, shape, or form and finding out you just got suckered by this guy? That you can't have both ideas at the same time. You can't feel it's okay that Andrew Tate does all this horrible stuff, but it benefits him, and then get angry when the government does all this horrible stuff, but it benefits them. It's the same thing. If you're okay with Andrew Tate taking with manipulation and power and conning suckers and dumb people, then when the government does something you don't like, you've just been suckered and conned the same way that Tate does it. It's the same kind of mindset. It's I'm going to take what I want with power and lies and manipulation. That's leftist thinking. It's all about power. Screw everybody else. It's all about power. That's the same that the left is doing to us. I don't see how you can keep both mindsets okay of, well, Andrew, I don't care if Andrew Tate does it to all those people, but I also don't like it when our government does. Like, it's the same thing. It's all about power. That's my opinion on it, at least.
You should avoid, if you're a dishonest person, if you lie, if you're going to deceive me, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Okay, there it is out of his own mouth. If you scam, if you lie, if you deceive, I don't want anything to do with you. So why should we support him using his own argument against himself? You're a scammer. You're a liar. People should, if you're a masculine man listening to Andrew Tate's own advice to stay away from scammers and liars and manipulators, then in his own words, you should avoid Andrew Tate because he's a scammer, a liar, and a manipulator. He's said both things. He says, I scam, I lie, I don't care. And then he also says, you should avoid scammers and liars. In his own words, he's telling you why you should stay away from him. It's a new scam.
Because we were really good at sides. Yeah, poking him to the point where you go like, you're a scammer, you scam me, you're really mad. I can't believe you think I was a scammer. I was gonna come, I went to the embassy, you're a liar.
You should avoid, if you're a dishonest person, if you lie, if you're going to deceive me, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
The guy would get pissed off, right, and leave, stop tipping her, stop coming to her. But for these men, that's the only chick in the world, the only hot chick in the world who talks to him. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks. He's in bed at night, alone, jerking off, looking at her old videos and pictures, watching her stream again from another account so she can't see it's him, sitting there going, maybe she was going to come. Maybe I just got too mad when she had a headache. Maybe I should have been
taking advantage of lonely men.
Friend.
It's a scumbag thing.
Of the time, in less than 3 months, they'd be back with an apology, a brand new pile of money, and the cycle would repeat. We
fucking killed the game. Millions of dollars a week. And it was not just because I had beautiful girls. It's not because webcam is easy. It's because I am a genius. And I put together an apparatus of genius behind the avatar of beauty. And we fucking conquered the internet. It's all massively hypocritical.
So my takeaway from listening to Andrew Tate's own words is that he played the game very well. He manipulated women. He manipulated lonely men. He manipulated sad men. He played the game. And then when that game was up and he was under fire or under pressure from governments or from the women, he just moved on to a new grift, which is now I'm going to get money from people joining my How to Be a Real Man and how to learn from these women. And now I'm going to be the positive role model after milking the men that were struggling and having problems. So he's a scumbag, in my opinion. He's a scumbag in my, I try to stay neutral on this stuff, but if you're okay with doing what he did by taking advantage of stupid people or young people or lonely men or whatever, then then you believe it's okay to take whatever you want by force or by manipulation or by lying, and therefore you're not a good person. You can't say you're a good person, but you also think what he did was funny and based and cool. The two just don't go together. They don't. Do I still think he said some good things that maybe helped men when they were down in the dumps and in a bad place and maybe gave them some motivation to get off their ass and go work out and better their lives? I do. But does he mean it? Or is this just another grift? Is he now suckering a new group of people? Is he now just, hey, join my membership, join my $50 a month this or my club or my men's whatever? That's why Andrew Tate is a grifter and he's a scumbag and he's a bad person because he lives with himself, and everything he did to those young women, everything he did to those lonely guys, those sad guys, those guys that just were not in a good place, he laughed about it and called them suckers. And then he turns around and pretends like he's a men's advocate and that you have to have integrity and morality. And then he wants men to join a $50 a month webpage or whatever, however much it is, to learn about how to be a positive male role model. He plays everybody for suckers. And he sleeps in bed at night like a baby. And the only time he's now upset is when he actually gets arrested and has them coming again after him. I don't think he's a saint. But I think he's definitely done some things wrong. And karma's a bitch, man. Let me tell you. Karma's a fucking bitch. That's all I got to say on that.